Hi, everyone. My name is Ashlyn McKibben. This is the Little Art Studio podcast, and I'm here today with Harold Trucco.
Hello.
And he is probably one of the best guitar players I've ever seen in my life, here in the flesh with us.
Shit, yo.
So if you wanted to go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself, what you do, and we'll get
Yeah.
into it.
I play guitar.
He is a guitar player.
Yes. No, I play. I'm from Miami, born here. And I play. My band is the Lab, and it's three of us: Brian Lang, Brian Tate, and me. And I also play with Juke with Uncle Scotchy, who you know.
Mhm.
Uh, and different band. He plays harmonica. It's more like a blues kind of thing. The Lab is more of like a rock, you know, as fuck. Can I curse?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This one's not a kid's show.
Okay,
so.
cool. And then I also gig around too, like, just if people need, and usually for rock stuff or bluesy kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's mostly what I do.
Do you have a preference on what you play live, like the blues stuff versus the more heavy stuff?
Um, it depends. I mean, probably a little more towards like the heavier or the more like
Yeah.
an energy
You like to
headbangy.
shred.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever you just like get carried away, I'm like Harold's in his own world right now.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody else in the room with him. It's just him.
No. No, I get lost sometimes. I'm like, shit, I need to like check back in or like,
Yeah.
but yeah, or not even so much like shreddy, so much more like chuggy stuff too. But I also love the blues where you can take your time,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, and like use the silence as a sound and just it's like a thing to like not play for seconds. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, like you keep
Yeah.
them. Uh,
So wait, go back to what you just said. You said chuggy?
chuggy like
Okay, for somebody who's not
yeah.
a musician, what does that mean?
So like low tune like more like metal-y guitar,
Okay.
literally jang 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 like
Yeah.
chug. I guess is what the kids call it.
Yeah. I've seen you, I think it's you. I've seen you like have like a beer bottle against the is that something that you've done, or am
On
I like
I've done it
imagining that?
before. No,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's like a slide. That's a bluesy thing for sure.
Yeah.
To do yeah, usually it's like a piece of metal or a piece of glass or something, but I guess both of those things you just slide it on the guitar.
Yeah.
It's like "Wah!"
Yeah,
kind of a
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I was like, I think I'm pretty sure I saw you doing that, and I was like, what is happening? I feel like it was at the Juke reunion show. You were like wilding with it a little bit.
Dude, I don't even remember that. I was wilding in every which way.
No, but that was fun. So, I thought I didn't know that you were born and raised here. I thought that you were from LA.
No, I used to live there.
Oh, okay. So what took you up? Music took you out there then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there for 3 years. So what was it, like 2017 to 2020, and then COVID, I moved back here.
Okay.
But yeah, I had a band out there and stuff like that. And honestly, the same kind of thing I'm doing here.
Hmm.
And then it was like, yeah, it just got weird and COVID-y.
I was gonna ask like how you felt the culture is different in LA versus Miami in that realm of things.
Um, it's definitely different because here, I mean, you have like the reggaeton is the most prominent thing
Yeah.
here. So like or deep house or
Hmm.
not that it's not in LA, but there's definitely more live music
Hmm.
happening, I would say, at the forefront of things.
Hmm.
Here, obviously, there's all the underground stuff, and there's all the places like this here at the
Hmm.
bridge, like that lend itself to the live music thing. And culturally, also, of course, because of the cultures of the people, it's different kind of music too.
Hmm.
So I don't know, it's different but similar at the same time. The live part of it is definitely different, where there's less places to play here,
Yeah.
but
We have like a venue shortage
a little bit.
here. Do you feel out there, like as far as booking gigs, do you feel like the pay is more, or like how is that structured out there? I'm kind of curious because
Yeah.
like photographers, I know a lot of photographers that have moved from, Miami to LA and their prices triple. So
Right.
I don't know.
It depends. I mean, coming from the rock world, um, honestly, there's a lot more pay to play shit in LA.
Hmm.
And luckily, I haven't
Pay to
really
play.
pay to play. Yeah.
Oh,
So
fuck. No way.
honestly, like, yeah, the first gig I ever did there when I moved there with my band at that time, we were like, you know about the Whiskey A Go Go?
Yeah.
It's like fucking Van Halen, and it's like, yeah, we gotta go, we gotta play there, and
Yeah.
like, all right, it's gonna be pay to play. You gotta sell like however many fucking tickets, and then if not, you have to pay this much money. And then we were like, okay, great.
How
Like,
much is it? I'm curious
it
if
was
you're allowed to talk about
no, no, yeah,
it.
it was. I can't remember how many tickets it was, but we ended up having to pay maybe like $200 or something like that
Damn, that
for like
sucks.
all the tickets. I can't remember if we exactly did this. I feel like we sold a few tickets and then we ended up being like, all right, bro, let's like bite the bullet and
Just
give
do it.
tickets because we just want to have people there.
Right.
Which that's the thing about the pay to play thing. Like they do it a lot there because of that, because they know that people are gonna be like wanting to play at these legendary venues
Yeah.
and stuff. Just kind of whack, but like at the same time, you can utilize it.
Hmm. So, well, I guess venue wise, I guess they use that for getting people in the door to buy
Oh yeah,
drinks and stuff like
yeah, and to
that.
get
But
people to play for free, basically.
yeah, I've never seen that here in Miami. Well, maybe.
I haven't really.
Yeah.
I have actually never,
Yeah.
but I think maybe I've been more fortunate here with that.
Yeah.
If it is happening, I don't know. I haven't seen it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but LA, it's like rampant. Honestly,
No, yeah, no, that's not good. So how did your musical journey start?
it started really. I was like 4 or 5 when I first my bad, I'm like thinking back.
You're good.
It definitely starts with like my brother. He's 10 years older than me, and he plays guitar also. He lives in Puerto Rico,
Hmm.
and he's like always and continue to look up to him, you know, and he it's just so cool to watch him fucking play guitar all the time. And then he showed me I was obsessed with the movie Twister,
Hmm.
and Van Halen is they did the soundtrack, or they did 1 or 2 songs,
Yeah.
and I was obsessed with that song, obsessed with Tornadoes, the movie, everything just like. And then he was like, "Okay, this is Eddie Van Halen, this is Alex Van Halen, this is Michael Anthony, you know, this is the band." And then this is like, I couldn't believe that he was playing the song from the movie. I was like, "How the dude? What?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?" I was freaking out, and then just I wanted to play, and my grandma also played guitar, and she played more like boleros and stuff like that. I,
Okay.
I used to tell people that like, yeah, no, she plays Metallica and shit. I was like, but she definitely was a huge, huge, huge part of it because she was with me the whole time. She would take me to like when we started finally getting in like little band practices and stuff, she would drive me to like the open mics, all this stuff, and she like couldn't see at night. Like,
Oh,
bro, she
yeah.
had like these her glasses were broken, so she had like the sunglasses that were also prescription. So
Oh
she would wear
no.
those at night, like,
Oh no, grandma.
dude. But thank God, like she really saw that I had the passion for it and pushed me and like supported me and took me all over the place for it. And
Yeah.
like, and then yeah, the first like I took a lesson with her because she was taking lessons with her like in a group.
Hmm.
And then from there I started taking a few like, you know, one-on-one lessons with her teacher.
Hmm.
And then I don't know, I felt definitely like super comfortable playing guitar.
Yeah.
And one day I remember having a friend, like I didn't realize it was so much of a thing, and my friend he had like all these instruments at his house, and I was playing all of them. And he's like, "Dude, this is kind of like your shit." And I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't realize like, and I don't know. I thank God, dude.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, that truly is a gift in my opinion. I feel like, I don't know, during COVID, I was like, I'm gonna learn how to play the ukulele. And I sat down and I felt like such an idiot. And I was trying to just memorize like something so simple, something so stupid, and like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something
Yeah.
like on the ukulele. And I was like, oh my God, my brain does not go that direction like whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do think like obviously, you know, it's practice for years and years, but
Yeah.
it is like you have something unlocked in your brain that's
Yeah.
not just a common thing.
No, thanks, yo.
But you play, so do you play other instruments
Yeah.
then? Because I think I've only seen you play guitar. But
Guitar, my second instrument I would say is drums.
okay.
Um, and then bass is like basically guitar, but it's different to play it like a bass player than to
Mm-hmm.
play it like a guitar player playing bass, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
But
Uh,
that's something only a musician would probably know the difference of,
yeah,
like
well, nah,
watching.
you, you can feel it too. It's one of those things where like if you're a guitar player, you go and you play bass like, but then it's like really
Yeah.
to just lock in there and you know. But I would say that and piano. I actually started with piano. Actually, I forgot. Yeah, it started with piano, and my sister was taking piano lessons, and my grandma would take us after school to the lessons, and I would just sit there and wait till she was done
Yeah.
to get picked up. And the lady was like this old Cuban lady, Elvis. There's no way she's alive anymore. So she was like,
Aw.
"Una viejita, bro." And I was like 4. And then my sister would like play for Elise and play her stuff, like play her songs. And then to keep me entertained, the lady would be like, "Here, take that like kindergarten piano book." And I remember being like, "All right, I finished the book." And she's like, "No, you fucking didn't." Like, and we sat there and I like beep 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 and I was playing and she was like, "Damn," like
Uh-huh.
I think that was the first time I remember being like, okay, like maybe I have an inclination or whatever.
Right.
But my sister would get mad at me because like we had a piano in our house and she would I would be playing the songs that she was practicing. So it was like the next level songs, and
Uh-huh.
she's like, "That's my fucking song. Stop playing." She'd be yelling at me from upstairs, like, "Stop playing my song. What the fuck?" And I was like, I put the mute on the piano
Uh-huh.
to be like, "Boop,
Aw.
boop," and she would still hear me and be like pissed. And I'm like,
So wait, you're younger than her.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
definitely.
So all your siblings are musicians then? Or
No,
okay.
I guess all of them have some sort of musical. I don't know. I think everyone does though. Like, you know, like you were saying, like the practice and stuff. Some people understand certain concepts easier, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you know, everyone could clap.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, April does like these jams at her house, and I like to go to for the vibes. You know, I can't play a single instrument, but then one time she like handed me like one of the egg shakers, and I was like,
Yeah.
I literally, yeah, I'm like
Yeah,
in the corner
yo.
like going nuts, and but at first I was like scared. I was like, I'm gonna fuck up everybody's
No, no,
vibe.
that's
I
the
was like,
thing.
the
Yeah.
egg shaker has like a very strong little like hold on what's
Yeah,
happening in the
yeah,
room, and I'm like, nobody look at me. I'm not the one with the egg.
yeah. No.
But it's fun. I don't know. I think it's those jams are really cool. I mean, in
Yeah.
general, like even at the Juke reunion show, watching like I don't even know how many people were playing at the same time. It was like 9 people
Yeah.
on stage, all of you guys playing. I was like, that's insane. Everybody was
There's
just like
madness.
feeding off from each other. It's so cool.
That's the key right there too. Even like what you were saying about the like you got the feeling of holding something up. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And you're like and letting go and not giving a shit and not worrying about am I fucking this up or something. That's when you play the best. Or
Yeah.
when you in that mode of like
Yeah.
I'm just here shaking the fucking egg. It's like we're all connected.
Yeah, right.
Like,
There's like probably other reasons for that also, but
yeah.
you know. So okay, so kind of on that topic, when you're playing live, like do you play like I mean, I see you drinking and stuff. Like, can you play like super fucked up and
I have before. I try
yeah,
not to.
yeah,
Or like
just as like a level of professionalism, or does it kind of just go
yeah.
out the
No,
window?
and I don't know. Sometimes like the thing is like there's definitely people who use it as like a crutch and stuff like that. And I've been guilty of that for sure. Where you're like, oh man, I'm nervous, and
Hmm.
then like let me drink a little bit, and then all of a sudden, you know. But it's a fine line because like you can't you can't depend on shit.
Hmm.
And I think the people who get really sucked into that think that they need that to be creative or
Hmm.
to be so then it's like it's a tricky situation.
Hmm.
But nah, of course, you know, you're around it. you know, have a few beers and play, and you get a little looser.
Yeah.
It goes back to the whole just letting go
Yeah.
of anything that might get any inhibitions.
Mhm.
But no, I've definitely played fucked up before. Definitely, I'm not gonna lie. Like, and then and pulled it off. I think
Yeah.
it's like in Family Guy when they get trashed and in their head they're like
Yeah.
Lois and Peter, like
And then
ah,
you watch the video the next day and you're like, "Oh
yeah,
god."
like fuck, dude, like
Yeah, that's happened to me before. I'm like a little bit too confident with something, and then I like look at footage or something, and I'm like, "Oh man, I gotta stabilize
yeah,
this." You
yeah,
know, like, oh, it's not as stable as I thought I was shooting the entire time.
yeah.
But
Believe it or not, with weed, it's probably a little more. Sometimes I'll get in my head sometimes
mm. Yeah,
because
I can't have like I can't be on a gummy or like smoking when I'm doing
no, no,
work
no,
like that
no,
because I'll just be like dazed and somewhere else, and
no.
I'm definitely not paying attention.
Especially now, now that I'm like fronting, I guess the lab. So
Yeah.
it's like to be talking to people
Okay, you
and
gotta
stuff
have
like
the
that.
stage presence now.
Fuck yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm one of those people. I'll get high and be like, "Hi guys, like,
Yeah.
how you doing? Like, is it okay? Like, can we play music? Like,
You're
I'm gonna
like
be loud. I'm
you're in the
sorry,
corner like shaking, rocking
dude.
back and
Yeah.
forth.
At the same time, like the opposite too, right? Like it'll put you creative. You leave the world, what have you. But
Mhm.
like also, I don't know. Everything is amplified, so that's amplified in a great way. And then sometimes when you just like, I'm like scared to make noise. I don't know. Maybe that's another thing to talk about.
That's
Like, I
actually
got trauma
so
or some shit.
that's so
Like,
funny.
dude, yeah,
Oh no, one too many people told you to shut up and
I think
like
so. Yeah, I'm like,
it stayed
fuck.
with you.
It happens to me even at Tobacco Road. Like you saw us at Tobacco Road.
Yeah.
And like we'll just go and Scotchy's having his joint or something. I'm like, I'm gonna take like a hit, dude. Because,
Yeah.
especially if there's not that many people there, and I'm like, dude, like the workers probably hate me.
Well,
Like, I don't
that
know.
space, I will say, like Tobacco Road is a little bit intimidating space wise because I feel like me shooting there because I've shot you guys there a couple times and then I've shot like Brittany Brave did a couple like did
Yeah.
a show there too and I don't know I'm there so I always feel like I'm in people's way no matter what like I'm sitting on these people's lap like while I'm
Yeah.
trying to shoot and no matter what I'm like everybody in this room hates me I'm like blowing the
Yeah.
flash in their face and I always feel like I'm inconveniencing somebody no matter like just by breathing
Yeah.
in there
I feel you.
but it's not like that. Like everybody's obviously there to hear
Right.
you play.
Yeah. Or no, I don't know.
Or if they're
Yeah.
not there to hear you play, they're like
They don't give a
they
shit.
come in
Yeah.
to go to the bar and then they're like, "Oh, cool, music is happening." And
Right.
then,
Right. Right.
whatever. But yeah, no, I feel that. I'm always in people's way.
Yeah.
And everybody's always like, "I'm so sorry." Like
Like, no,
with
no,
me. And I'm
no.
like,
It's
"No,
I'm
no, I'm
sorry.
in the way.
Yeah.
Like you're good. Don't apologize to me." So, I want to get into talking about the lab a little bit.
Okay.
So that's a new project for you. You
Yeah.
guys have been formed less than a year, right? Or about a year?
Technically, shit. That's a good question. Definitely, I think it was like September of 20, maybe even before. But when we first started like jamming in the room over there,
Mm-hmm.
phase 1, 2. We're in phase 1, 3 now over there,
Mm-hmm.
literally. But I would say yeah, it feels like longer because like we've been going at it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it's like probably a year.
And now you're doing like singer-songwriting stuff, or what's like new for you, kind of transitioning into
Singer is it's funny to say singer. Yeah, the lab is a singer songwriter,
is
bro.
it yeah, like what are you doing?
We got
Because
acoustics,
you're
so like
singing, right?
yeah, yeah. But it's just we write everything. The vibe of it is very much like we just started jamming, and then eventually the singing part didn't even come until later. Until I was like, oh, there's melodies here. We
Mm-hmm.
should just I'm down to sing. Like fuck it.
Yeah.
And then it started working. I don't know. Honestly, the first couple of recordings, I remember hearing it back and being like, fuck, dude, like, this is probably not gonna work. Like, I probably shouldn't sing. Like, no, I think we should though. Like, I think
No, it's
maybe
cool.
like,
Yeah.
and then by now we've practiced so much, or not even like practice and put in the time but we've crafted these songs to be so fun to play that we just have fun playing, and
Yeah.
that's the best thing. Like,
Do you feel like you're more introvert, extrovert? How do you feel like you are personality-wise?
it's probably one of those introvert extrovert.
Like
Isn't that a thing too?
like a combo? Like you
Yeah.
have a battery?
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, no, battery for sure.
Yeah,
Like in the middle of, I'd be like, yeah, man, what's up, man? And then all of a sudden be like, all right, dude,
I'm done. Yeah.
I can't talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
I need to go home. Like, or yeah. I don't know. It depends with certain, if I know people, I feel like I'll be more extroverted. But
Mhm.
at first meeting people for the first time, I'll feel kind of usually pretty shy, or like,
Mhm.
but it depends on the situation. I feel like maybe the opposite too, if it's like specific situations, if I'm working at a job,
Mhm.
usually I'll be like welcoming to the new people.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably because I know that feeling.
That feeling
So I'm like,
sucks.
what's up? Like,
Yeah. Like a little kid on the first day of school.
yeah.
So wait, do you have a day job then, or you're just music?
Remote job.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's for the school or university. They literally just tell me to do shit and I do it. I don't know.
Okay, okay.
But it's all like I want to say data entry, but it's not even. It's like sometimes PowerPoints and just random shit that I'm like, all right, looks like I'm doing this today. And,
Yeah.
you know, bunch of school, but it's all psychology stuff. It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Sometimes I find myself in there. I'm like, oh, I'm learning. I'm getting free
You're like,
courses.
I'm going to school now.
Yeah, exactly.
So did you go to college, or
Yeah.
like what's your education history
I
here?
went to Berkley in Boston for
Oh
music.
shit. Okay. Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went to school in New England as well, like up in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh,
So
hell
I'm
yeah.
super familiar with Berkeley.
Sick.
That's pretty crazy. That's like a very acclaimed college
Yeah,
to
yeah,
go to
yeah.
school, like probably the one for music. So how do you feel being? I have a few questions on that.
Okay.
Being more like alternative musically, do you feel like you were kind of a black sheep stepchild situation there?
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, just because like I never had a jazz vocabulary at all,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very much that. But there's a lot of people who play rock and people who play. There was a lot more indie kind of like, uh,
Some Noah Kahn vibes up there.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
see.
But yeah. Until I found like people to make a band with there that was more rock and
Mhm.
playing shows and stuff, I felt more comfortable being there and less like, shit, I don't know what the fuck.
Mhm.
But I definitely learned a lot. But I think I learned the most from just playing with people
Mhm.
who knew more than you and like different styles. By the end of it, all usually the drummers were hitting me up for their senior recitals and stuff like that by
Yeah.
the end, and it was so fun because it's always like we got a fusion guy, we got a straight up rock guy, we have a straight up like, I was in a hip hop like tribute band for a little bit, which was super
That
random.
is very random.
Yeah, I was there a lot of random shit actually, but those are fun. And every time I would go to the drummers like juries or whatever the hell, all the drum teachers like, oh, this guy, what's up, dude? Like,
Well, everybody just knew you by then.
yeah. And it's like,
So, what does a program look like for music then, for studying college wise?
there was because it's all music, right? So you have different facets of it. You can do like music business, there's
Mhm.
music therapy. Performance is like the main one where you just learn performance,
Mhm.
all your scales, all your stuff. But you have actually ear training, which everyone has to take, and then like theory, harmony,
Mhm.
um, chords, structures, and then actually how to train your ear.
Is that so you can hear a song and then play the song?
Yeah, that's to me that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's so that you can also reading music, like basically they had a book and it had the melody and you would have to like sing the melody out loud.
Mm.
Which, by the way, going back to the introvert thing, imagine fucking singing in the middle of class.
Right.
Da, do, re, mi, fa. I'm like, bro, it's my turn. I can't do this shit. I didn't practice on top of
You're
anything.
like sitting there like shaking.
Yeah, no.
No, I mean, it's funny because art school is kind of similar. Like, you have to basically go up and everybody does like a critique, you know? So
Yeah,
you work on a piece for either a couple days, a couple weeks, or a month or something.
yeah,
And then you have to put it up in front of the class and just let everybody destroy you. And,
yeah,
you leave feeling like you're the worst artist on the planet. But
yeah.
it's good for you, you
It's
know?
good for you. Yeah, builds character.
Builds character, builds thick skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
After I came out of art school, I was like, I'm the toughest bitch alive
yeah.
because
Yeah,
that was ridiculous what we just experienced.
dude. Plus, it's people who do the same thing that you do, so you're like, fuck, like.
Yeah, I'm like, everybody's so much nicer when you get out of art school, I feel like. I don't know where everybody went, but,
Yeah.
to me, everybody seems like way nicer. Because I just remember being in school and they'd be like, well, this isn't going to fly in the real world. And I'm like,
The
now in
real,
the real world, I'm like, nobody gives a fuck about anything,
that's
first of
so true.
all.
That is so true.
But yeah. Okay, interesting. So yeah, I didn't know that. So we were talking about some of your stories
Oh
of
yeah,
like, if we want to have a little story time power hour
sure.
of things you've experienced in the live music
Yeah.
performance realm.
I mean, there's definitely the funniest one. It's mostly like self-awareness is a huge thing, honestly. And like the more and more I've been doing this, the more I'm like, the funniest one was at Tobacco Road that like I'm like in my world, whatever, like
hmm
got my fucking eyes closed and shit and like super into a solo.
And really quick, just for everybody who obviously hasn't been to Tobacco Road or doesn't live in
Oh,
Miami, Tobacco Road is a very tiny, tiny venue.
yeah.
So it is a bar with like just like one little section, basically. I mean, I think it
Right.
wraps around. I've never walked on the
Yeah.
other side. But essentially, like, what, 10, 15 people can sit
Hmm.
and then people might stand or something. It's a very
Yeah.
small space.
It's like it's a restaurant. Like it used to be Tobacco
Yeah.
Road, the venue, like which I wish was still there, but
Yeah.
now it's like a tribute restaurant, Kush,
hmm
whatever. But yeah. So
So for context
for
of
context,
this
yeah,
story.
exactly, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm in the fucking zone, whatever, and all of a sudden I'm like in the middle of ripping a solo, like, and this guy. I just feel a light in my face and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I open my eyes and this guy has his phone open to Under the Bridge Red Hot Chili Peppers. And he's like, I'm like, okay. And he's like, can you play? Can you play Red Hot Chili Peppers? Can you play this? And I'm like, dude, I fucking have my hands full right now. I'm like in the middle of like, why can't you wait? Like, like what? Dude?
Right. At least wait till I'm done.
Like the self-awareness of like,
Yeah. Do you take requests there? Do you do
no.
that? Okay, I was like,
I just tell Scotchy. I'm
yeah.
like, he wants to, I defer them to him. I mean,
Yeah.
can you guys play this? Can you guys do Led Zeppelin? Can you guys do whatever? I'm like, dude, ask him. Like, that happens with Juke too.
Yeah.
Always happy birthday too, which
Oh.
we always try to. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, whatever,
Ugh.
I know. But
If it was my birthday and my friend went up to the band and said, play
mortified.
her happy birthday, I would run
Yeah,
out of the restaurant.
I know.
I'd be sitting there so humiliated.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, I mean, because yeah, you wanna like please people, but then at the same time, like, all right, bro, like, this is like the other one that was really good was this was actually with the lab. We were playing at Kill Your Idol,
hmm
and this lady was like, she had a big hat, and she was like, she was just like singing, and we were doing sound check, and she was doing these runs like whatever, pretty good, like
Uh-huh.
So I just kept playing back what she was singing on the guitar, and we were like having like a moment, and it was like, oh wow, fun, you know what I mean?
Right.
And she like kept going, and I like kept going too because I'm like, okay. By like the fifth one, I was like, all right, bro, like when like I kind of just stopped. She like, she did like a really dramatic one, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That was the one.
And she just like, it was like, then it was awkward, and then she was there for the whole show. We're doing our thing, like rocking out, whatever. And then the whole time she just like is like trying to get on stage to sing. And I'm like, dude, no, like
It's
I
not
kept
your show.
yeah, and I was just kind of like ignoring it and being like, oh yeah, here's our song, like let's go into it fast,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then at the end of the show, she came up to me and was like, so what's the deal? Like, do you just not let people sing with you? Like, what's the deal with that? And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about right now?
Like,
Like,
if you go see Taylor Swift in concert, like, you're
yeah,
probably not gonna be like, Taylor, give me the
right?
mic.
Like, oh my God. That would be amazing though. Can you imagine? Taylor, what's the deal? Like, you
Yeah.
don't let people sing with you. I couldn't believe it.
There's like a whole bit right now with Nicki Minaj where she's like handing the mic to people and they're like totally butchering the song and she'll like yank it out of their hand. So like,
No, that
can you
sucks.
imagine? I would cry. I would just be
Yeah.
like on the ground, like, nobody look at me.
Give me that bag. Oh no.
There was a video I'll never forget. Like, Beyonce was like walking through like the front barricade or something, and the girl was telling her, "Don't give it to me, don't give it to me."
I think I
And
saw
she
that.
like put it in her face, and then it was so bad.
It was like, oh man.
And I was like, that stayed with me. I was like, I never want to be barricaded for a show. I don't think ever. After seeing that, I was like, if that happens to me, I would have to just simply decline.
Yeah.
Sorry, Beyonce. Nope. Nope.
Yeah. None of that.
Yeah, so the first time you ever performed live, like your first like paid, like you got paid gig.
Oh, paid gig?
How was that experience for you?
Shit, my first paid. Damn, I actually can't remember my first paid gig. Now
Yeah?
that you mention it. Damn.
Like, I've
Seriously.
been just doing this shit
Yeah,
forever.
actually. God damn, I really can't remember.
That's okay.
My first like time playing in front of people, I remember being. I think I was like 7, 8. I don't know, somewhere around there.
Mhm.
Definitely, the guitar was still like bigger than I was.
Aw.
And it's like we had where we were taking those lessons. It was like with the little band put together. Like we played like Wild Thing, like Oye Como Va, of course.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I just same type of deal where I was like all like kind of scared to like move.
Aw.
Dude, I was scared to move for forever until my grandma was like, bro, I would show her the videos of Eddie Van Halen always. I'd be like, look what he's doing. Like, that's crazy. Like, how the fuck do you do that? And she's like, dude, pause it right there. Do you see him jumping in the air and smiling and stuff? Like, you got to do that, bro. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't be like. And I obviously was like, yeah, I can. Like, of course. Like, I was just scared. And I was like, well, one day I was like, now it's different.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
I'm fucking crazy. But like.
But I feel like that's like one of the better things about watching you play is like how much you get into it, like physically, like you moving and stuff. Like you can tell you put like your entire body into it, which is really nice to watch. So
Thanks, you know. And honestly, I think it affects like the sound because when you bend the note or something like that, like the difference between bang and then like really feeling it. Like obviously you look bitchin' or whatever.
yeah.
But really it's like you're putting, like you said, like putting in everything into a note. It's like it's more of that than I remember Scotchy telling me at first when I started playing with him that he's like at first, like, dude, this kid is fucking being a little much, like being a little. But he was like, I understand though. It's not like a trying to do. It's like you just can't help it.
So how did you and Scotchy connect then? Because
that was because he was trying to find another guitar player, like replacing a guitar player, and like I remember actually seeing them at Lagniappe, and then yeah, it's funny that I ended up being like, I remember being like, that band is sick as fuck. Like, I would actually love to play guitar in that band. And then it turns out I literally did.
Yeah.
It was a friend of mine who was supposed to be like the original guy to take that spot. And then he couldn't do it. So then he recommended me. And then Scotchy called me and was like, yeah, it's like a blues band, you know, like, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Robert Johnson and all these like super bluesy guys. Like, yeah, I love those guys, trying to play it up more. And he's like, yeah, well, this doesn't work as well with, you know, blues. Like it's more, you know, I'm like, okay, so never mind. Actually, Van Halen, Hendrix, like,
and you're like,
Sabbath.
actually, fuck everything I just said.
Roll it back.
Never mind.
Yeah. He's like, okay, cool. Like, and then we went to the first time I played at Lagniappe, which I always wanted to play. And that time was he sent me a bunch of songs to play, and then we didn't play a single fucking one of them. He threw me into the fire. Like, he's like calling songs. I'm like, okay, well, but we had Danny Hyung was playing, so it was like I felt like I had some training wheels because he was playing the riffs, and I'd be like, okay, at least
Oh my God.
I'll come in with something. And
That would be my worst. I would just melt on the spot.
yeah, it was pretty funny. And then years later, he's like to do an encore at Langyap.
hmm
He was like, Skinny Woman. And I was like, the first song I learned. And I'm like, bro, we never played this.
Yeah.
Like I learned this first, but like now is when we're gonna be, dude, I forgot it.
Oh my God.
It's been years. I have no fucking idea. Like,
So what happens when you like literally have no idea what you're doing on stage? You just wing it, or
it depends. It depends. I've gotten very comfortable with winging it to the point where honestly sometimes I prefer to do that.
yeah.
Most of the time it's like just being able to hear the song and be like, all right, we're in this key, so like I can navigate.
hmm
You know, if you're throwing jazz chords in like crazy chords and crazy changes and stuff, like, nah. I'm chill. Like hit like, I don't know. When in doubt, like lay out, But then yeah. If not, just like hit the whammy bar once or twice and just make some noises and be like, yeah.
And then the crowd's like going insane.
Yeah. I promise this is how it sounds, guys. Like,
so you guys are gigging all around Miami right now, and which is pretty cool that you guys are such a fresh band and gigging. You have a record out.
Yeah.
And that was all like recorded here, or?
Yeah. Wait, no. Sorry. That was actually recorded at in Port Orange. Our guy at Burgerman Studios.
Okay.
And he we just took it like a vacation almost too. And it was by accident. We didn't realize that we were doing an EP. We were trying to do like video content. And we ended up not really using any video, and we got an EP.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. But this next one is because that was Matters of Science Volume 1. Now we have Volume 2, which we recorded in there. And that's all. We had the amps out here. We had everything way more like our actual gear and shit like that. And Brian Lang mixes it and does all that wizardry.
Yeah.
Also.
How long does something like that take to put together?
Depends. It depends. I mean, by the time it's time to record, we have the songs basically done. Maybe there's one or two little things.
You said that you guys start with the music.
Yeah.
And then find like a crumb of a lyric and then build out from it there.
Yeah, or like the name of the song. Even honestly, sometimes before the music.
Yeah.
So like, I think Breast Pocket, which is like fucking so random, and I can't remember why it was. I know that Taze was probably wearing a Breast Pocket shirt, and then I don't know what's inside. It's like, I think it's like, let's just name a song Breast Pocket, and then we started playing, and then we're like, and then all of a sudden, words just started happening, and then it's like, honestly, all the songs are kind of like that. Or like we have a song called Rollick, which like I'm now learning is a real word, but I didn't think it was, or I was like, dude, there's no way. Like frolic, but it means the same thing, I think. Frolic and rollick, and it doesn't say that at all in the song. It has nothing to do, but it kind of has to do with the feelings. We're like, fucking, it works.
That was like a big thing with, I feel like, Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco. They would always name their songs like some whack ass shit that had nothing to do with the actual song.
And then, yeah. Actually, yeah, we have a lot of those now I think about it.
But the title would be like this long. And
that's Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
There's a reason why these tables are numbered. Yeah. You just don't know it yet.
Just like a really long title of just nonsense. Yeah. But that's cool though. I like that. Because I mean, usually people will start the other way around, so it's interesting to hear people's like process being different.
I think I'm trying to think. I don't think any of them started that way.
Yeah. So what's the plan for the lab? What does this next year look like?
Now, we're gonna put out that record probably in. We're trying to do like maybe single May, and then June another one, and then July full thing. It's gonna be 6 songs this time. It's definitely gonna be a little heavier too, and then just trying to play, places we haven't played before. Trying to get further up in Florida and beyond that, you know, whenever that can happen, of course,
Yeah.
and just trying to push in that way. Right now we have a couple gigs lined up. Like we're playing at Respectable Street in West Palm Beach, so
Okay.
that'll be fun. That's probably the furthest we have future tense gone. I don't know how to. I forget which word it is, but like, uh, and then yeah, just continue to do that, and then keep recording, and then keep writing, and keep fucking just doing it.
Yeah. Do you guys are you guys using I know that you're on Instagram and stuff, but are you guys trying to like break into that whole like TikTok algorithm situation?
I mean, I made us a TikTok, like.
But you don't use the TikTok.
Yeah, no, it's like I have bursts of like, all right, let's do this content.
We're gonna go viral.
So yeah, no, it's like I. That's the thing. I try to be as organic as possible with that shit.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
not, it's like I fucking cringe at that kind of stuff,
Yeah, the self-promotion is pain.
dude. Yeah, like I just can't bring like I'll try to do it as much as I can
Yeah.
without being like I don't know, like just I don't know. I'll make myself cringe if I'm like, "What's up?" Like, make sure you smash that
Oh,
like button.
No,
Like,
no.
I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Like, but no, TikTok. I mean, you got to be consistent or whatever, and it's almost like I don't know, man. I try to be as consistent as possible, posting all that kind of shit. But
Yeah.
it's
I think you guys are doing pretty good.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you're always in my feed. I see Harold doing his
Try,
thing.
man.
Yeah.
It's like as long as it's a little something here and there, anytime I can remember to do it, I'll
Yeah.
do it. And then like, fuck, we got to promote a show. Let me promote it. And then the most we did was for that show we did at Gramps,
Mhm.
like our EP release. I felt like I was like borderline annoying,
No,
like
no.
right
I
on
mean,
that cusp.
I think that everybody understands that that's like you have to do that,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Honestly,
and people who care about you are about it. So, you know.
yeah. I had a friend tell me actually like because I remember kind of tripping about it and being like, dude, like we have like 2 tickets sold, and it, by the way, is that friend? And I was like, I don't know what to do, like, and she was like, honestly, just fucking like, who gives a fuck? Just
Yeah.
start promoting Simbana, like, you know, because. And she said exactly what you said. Like, chances are that people actually do give a fuck and actually don't know because
Yeah.
people's algorithms don't put it up. And I reached out to a shit ton of people.
And they didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
Well, it sucks because the algorithm now, if you're not actively interacting with that account, it basically just doesn't show up in your feed. So if I'm not like DMing somebody, I'm like never going to see what they're posting or anything
True.
like that, which it sucks for artists.
Yeah.
But
Even bigger artists, it happens to them. They have to do a post that's like, oh, this is a test, like, because no one
right.
sees it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not just the little people. Yeah, and you'll see too, like people will still share to their stories and stuff, and they're huge artists because it's like what's prioritized and stuff. But
Right.
yeah, I'm hoping. I don't know after the whole TikTok debacle is over with the government that we get like a nice new platform that is great for artists and we can all live happily ever after.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Probably not. It's gonna be just as fucked and
Yeah.
just as, you know, word of mouth is like the only thing. Because what happens if like Instagram just dies too? That's what
Yeah.
I've been honestly thinking about
Yeah.
is, and what a lot of people have been saying is like to take your people off platform. Because
Right.
like when MySpace died, there's a bunch of bands that were like, oh shit,
Now
what do
what?
we do? Yeah, because they basically lost. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that was like my era of pop punk growing up was MySpace. Like everybody had the song playing on their profile
Yeah.
and all that, but
Man.
that was a time.
I
Like,
had
bring back
MySpace for like a
MySpace.
second. Yeah, actually, like now would probably be the time. I had it for like a hot minute, and I had like Pimp My Profile or whatever. My
Yeah.
sister made it for me.
Mine definitely was like so Avril Lavigne coded. It was all
Yeah.
like hot pink and black and like sparkles and
That's amazing.
the little gifs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, man, what a time. Well, yeah, it's not as fun anymore on the internet, but
No, it's not.
I also feel like that was kind of a shit show free for all for a little bit before everything kind of got a little bit more regulated for ages
Right.
and stuff like that. And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
my mom shouldn't have let me on the internet at that time.
No,
But
it's a scary place.
yeah. Well, I feel pretty good about wrapping up our conversation. Thank you for sitting down with me
Thank you.
today. This was fun getting to
Super.
know you. I learned a lot about you that I have never, been able to talk about with you before. So I appreciate it. I always end on like a little note, I guess, but I always ask people, what is it when you're either like writing or you're playing or working, trying to get in the zone? Like, what are you listening to? Or even like winding down? Like, what's something
Hmm.
that you listen to the most?
Music?
Yeah, like,
Like, shit, it depends. I mean, my favorite band that I'm obsessed with right now is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. You know them?
no.
Oh my God. Yeah, super long name. They're from Australia. They have like fucking 25 albums right now.
Okay.
And they've been around for like not that long, like
Okay.
2010 or something. But they have like
Interesting.
thrash metal shit and then also like the most like beautiful, just like kind of indie stuff. Not their latest album was a techno album. They cover all kinds of shit actually.
Interesting.
But I like hyper focus on them and then whatever is on my shuffle, I guess. Or honestly, like I don't know, if I'm changing strings or something like that, I have to get or like a wind down. Just go on fucking YouTube and watch like The Office and shit too. Like, or have it on in the background.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
that's funny. All right. What was the name of the band?
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Okay.
Every time I say it, I'm like, you got a fucking pen and paper?
Yeah, I think I just like wanted to hear you say it again. All right. Well, this has been the Little Art Studio podcast. Once again, this is Harold Trucco, and I will link his band and his music and all his socials and everything as well. And yeah, this has been awesome.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Peace.